Okay guys, so we got another one here for you guys today. Another home repair video, home tutor repair. You guys probably seen him. He's got lots of subscribers. Done well for his channel. But you know my thoughts on this guy. But anyway, let me start it from the beginning here.
I need to install Schluter Dieter over top of this.
Sweeping the floor, priming. You haven't used that primer yet from Schluter. As long as you get it nice and clean and dust free, all that, you really don't have to use that stuff, but it doesn't hurt.
Primer you and prime the floor so that the Dieter will stick properly, and then pour Schluter all set on.
All right, the mortar he's using, which isn't thin set mortar, he's got it mixed loose, and way too loose if you ask me. That is like soup. That is too much water in that mix. You have to have it on a loose side, but not that loose.
Into that, burn it into the subfloor with the flat side, then the notch side of the trowel. By the way, that little hand support I'm using is awesome. Then I roll the Dieter.
There's easier ways to spread it more. You don't have to reach that far, but
from the wall.
Again, this guy's not a pro.
The most important part is to use a float and compress.
He does a decent job, but he's not a pro.
Two different directions.
And he's teaching people how to do this for a living, looks like.
The floor won't crack, and neither will it drop.
Dieter will prevent horizontal moving, but vertically, if the subfloor is bad, whatnot, the tile can crack. But that takes an extreme scenario really for that to happen. So. Okay, here we got another one. This guy is going over how you should install tile over concrete, which is not true, but let's get into it.
Another daily tip. So the experts say you can't put tile straight onto concrete, and we're going to go into why. So we're going to demo this tile, and it's not
true. You can tile directly to concrete.
Because it's coming off the ground already. Nope, it's because there's two kinds of concrete in this world. One that's cracked and one that's going to crack. And with that being said,
yes, concrete will crack regardless at some point in its lifespan. Yeah, using an uncoupling membrane on it can help reduce the chance of cracks coming through, but you don't have to use it.
If you put tile on top of concrete and that concrete cracks, it's going to transfer up onto your tile. So that's one of the reasons we use an uncoupling membrane. So as I mentioned, B's going to demo this, get it out of the way, and we're going to put new tile down right in front of this door. The rest of the area we're going to finish in a different manner. So for this install, I'm going to trowel on some thin set on the floor, and then we're going to gently...
They even grind off all the old mortar that was down on the subfloor there, which is concrete slab. You want to use a cup grinder, remove all that old mortar off. You do not want to
set the uncoupling membrane down into the thin set. Once it's down on the floor and you're happy with where it's at, you can then rub it in. So now with this, what we're going to do is we're going to let this set and cure for one full day before we start tiling or walking on it. Like and follow for another.
With uncoupling membranes like Dieter, you don't have to let it cure. You can start setting tile right away. I do like to let it cure and pre-fill usually, and then start tiling the next day. So you can tile over concrete. If there is cracks, you can use a liquid membrane or other products to address those cracks, but using a coupler membrane does really help reduce the chance, but it's not something that you absolutely have to do. Okay guys, we got another one for you here today. The guy that thinks he knows what he's talking about and thinks he really knows what's going on. Just to give you an example, you could see these screws and washers here with no waterproofing on the walls there, and then on a vertical surface is not as important, but you still waterproof it regardless. Then on a horizontal surface, which is extremely critical, you can see that there's a screw right there on the top of that bench that's going to create a leak. They got some kind of foam board on the walls, and then you got a curdy band going around. Let's see what he has to say.
The biggest mistake that tilers are making, and this is because a lot of these so-called tilers, some of them are great tilers, but they don't know the technicality behind why things are done a certain way. Never do your wall tile before your floor tile. Come on, let me show you why.
It makes no difference when you have a surface applied waterproofing membrane. That's what they're trying to achieve here, but you can see how they missed again all the fasteners.
First, this is what happens, okay? I hope the camera can zoom in and see this, okay? This gap here, you can never 100% seal it. You're gonna do grout and you're gonna do caulking, but over time, these things break down, okay? So don't do that. Always do your floor tile first, wall tile on top. That way the water flow away from any gaps that you might have here over time, okay? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys.
Well, I'll tell you, basically, it doesn't matter. When we use our modern way, how we put together showers now, walls first, either way, it really makes no difference. The water goes through the grout, through everything, through the tile, and it hits that membrane, then eventually gets down to the drain. So in what order you do it makes no difference. The grout's not meant to seal those inside corners or silicone. Silicone just allows for movement. Grout's just a filler. Again, the water goes right through these areas, so this guy has no idea what he's talking about. Okay, if you don't know who this is Sal Di Blasia, Italian guy from the Boston area. I believe that he's retired now from being a contractor, being a tile setter, but if you don't follow, make sure you do. This is the OG of YouTube tile setters. He really knows what he's doing. So we're going to go over his video here. I haven't really listened to much of it, and we're going to see what he has to say about 5 things you need to know for tile installation on a floor, looks like.
2, make sure the 5 things you should consider when you install a tile floor. Number 1, make sure the tile that you're installing is suitable for the application. Not all tiles are suited for all applications.
Correct.
Number 2, make sure that the substrate that you're installing the tile to meets deflection standards and is the appropriate flatness for the tile that you're installing.
Yes, needs to be flat.
3, make sure that the underlayment you're using is designed for a tile.
Yes,
floor.
correct.
Number
Sal knows what he's talking about.
Make sure that the thin set that you're using is appropriate for the tile and for the substrate
Correct.
that you are using, as well as the underlayment that you're using. Number 5, make sure you get the correct coverage, ensure that you don't have broken or cracked tiles down the road.
Again, Sal Di Blasia, if I'm saying that correct, Sal, sorry if I'm butchering or not, but knows what he's talking about. You really want to know how to tile and do things properly, he's a channel you want to go to over pretty much anyone else I could think of to this day, which is 2026.